Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans. You guys rock. I hope you're having a great Monday, if that's possible. I hope you guys are out there having a good day. Here in South Florida, it was a rainy night, but this morning's been a better morning. So I don't know where you guys are over the globe, but big fins up to you for finding me on this Monday morning. Like I always say, you have a lot of options out there to find in Miami Dolphin stuff. So you guys come into my room, big appreciation from the get-go. With that said, Michael K in the house, Timothy Washington in the house early this morning. You guys always boom. We will see. So a lot of decisions loom tomorrow at 4 p.m. The franchise tag deadline is set in the NFL. So all the teams that are going to franchise tag people, they got to make that decision by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Looking like, according to reports, the Dolphins will not place the franchise tag on Christian Wilkins. It appears that they will let him test the free agent market unless they can get a long-term deal worked out for him. It seems like he will be testing the free agent market and probably, in strong likelihood, could possibly be leaving the Miami Dolphins via the free agency route if the numbers get huge. So that's a big decision. Then you got Van Ginkel on who made my thumbnail, because to me, he's Robert Hunt. I meant to put on there, and I forgot to put Robert Hunt on my thumbnail on the photo for YouTube. And he's another big name that's going to make this decision. He's one that wants Robert Hunt, we're talking about now, wants to test the free agent market. According to Chris Greer, they had some talks. Hunt expressed an interest in testing the free agent market. So there you go. And yes, Michael K. I hate to say those words all together. Yes, Michael K. The Dolphins have to make a decision on Tua's long-term contract somewhere during this offseason, but there are apparently no rush on that because they feel like they'll easily be able to fit his fifth-year option under the cap and still make moves according to sources. I don't know. The people that say they have sources, we're only listening to the people that claim they have sources tell us their information. So we, who knows, how that goes down the line. But that is all stuff. And Van Ginkel, Drew Rosenhaus, has mentioned several times that Van Ginkel would love to remain a Miami Dolphin. So I hope that comes to fruition, because we are really short at the edge rusher with the uncertain status of Chubb and Phillips. Hey, Dolphin Don, big fins up to you. Good morning to you as well. There were so many good and fast. Yes, man, that kid, that Xavier kid, whatever his name was, he broke the record. So there's all kinds of receivers, man. But man, the Dolphins need offensive linemen. And I have a mock draft set up. I only did 2 rounds and I canceled all the trades, so it's already all set up to run here in a few minutes. And you guys are gonna love who's sitting there in this one. It just happened to be I did it right before the show, and one of the Dolphins ones that all Dolphin fans have fallen in love with is sitting there ready to be plucked off the board. And we do have that in store for today. But like I said, tomorrow's the big day. We will see. It's looking more and more like there will be no franchise tag used by the Dolphins this offseason. They're not going to do it on Hunt. They're not going to do it on Wilkins, all according to reports. They're going to hit that free agency market, and we will see. On another NFL note, Mike Evans went back to the Buccaneers, according to Adam Schefter. So they're keeping their own, and we know we're going to be losing some of our own. Yep. So there's a lot of good stuff there. Oh, and Scotty has snuck into the room. Good morning to you as well, Scotty. We still need a free 25 million cap space before the start of the year, and it appears they are going to do that without extra cap savings, meaning almost 30 million cap savings. Yes, they will have to do that. But right now, they got until March 13th for that one at least, so they better start reworking these contracts. Tomorrow, like I said, is the franchise tag deadline. Be interesting around the league to see who gets the big tag on those tough type deals. I know Kansas City's corner, supposedly like a tag and trade type guy, maybe or whatever. But I haven't really heard much other talk coming about on who's going to be tagged or not. Be interesting. But for our Dolphins, it appears it's going to go unused. Like I like to say, appears because by the time I'm done with this show, it could be poor. Because earlier in this week, there's all reports that Dolphins were keeping Wilkins. It was like everyone was talking about it. Guys I respect were doing shows on it, saying, "Oh, they're doing everything they can to." And the worst case scenario, they're going to put the franchise tag on him, but they're set for 100% to keep him here long term. But now all reports are they're going to let him test free agency, and that came per Adam Schefter, and he normally speaks from the know. So we will see. It's going to be interesting. Couple weeks here in Miami Dolphins, and that's when the draft stuff really gets fun too. After we see what happens in free agency, who we kept, who we lost, and who we bring in. So that's going to be interesting to see because if we lose Hunt, that's going to be, and we don't know about Connor Williams. It's going to be the whole offensive line may need replacing basically if outside of Robert Jackson. So it's really crazy. Scotty says, I thought Hunt's tag would be cheaper than Wilkins. You didn't know it was based on total O-line salary, so it's only about $1 million cheaper. Which really stinks as it eliminates tagging Hunt. Yes, this is where the problem lies. They talked about it a little bit on Joe Rose today. Him and Omar Kelly were going on about it, saying that the Dolphins are really up against it. It's almost required that they find some cheaper alternatives that can go to play on a team that's built to win now. And so there's a lot of decisions that need to be made in the next week or so. Whether it's what's today, March 4th, March 13th is fastly approaching, guys. You got to get under that cap before you even start thinking of bringing in new guys and keeping the guys that you have. So lots of stuff to do. But hey, that's what makes the NFL king of the off season. What else? Like I said, I got the mock draft. We're gonna do. I say Andrew Van Ginkel might be the most realistic ones because I wrote that originally my picture was supposed to be Hunt, Van Ginkel, and Wilkins, and Van Ginkel and Wilkins made it, and I forgot to put Hunt in there. But of those three, it's big decision time. And I think Van Ginkel is probably the more affordable of them. Seems to be more willing to really want to stay in Miami if those talks are true. But some team could blow his socks off, and he could also depart the Miami Dolphins, leaving us with big questions on the edge entering the 2024 season because we don't know the health statuses of Phillips and Chubb. So, we never know how each player responds coming off of those injuries. It's very tough on the Achilles. Some guys come right back and they're like, didn't lose a step once they're back playing again. And in some cases, they just don't have that thing, they just don't have that same burst from the beginning and it is not as comfortable. So there's a lot of unknowns on a team whose window is to win now. Barry Jackson had a great tweet today. It's something I say all the time, but he has a lot more following. So he basically, in a nutshell, said, if you're happy that the Dolphins are more entertaining on a playoff caliber team, but not quite good enough to win the Super Bowl, then fine, be happy. If you want to be upset that you think this should be a Super Bowl winning team and all this was for nothing, and because we didn't win a Super Bowl, or at least contend for a Super Bowl, then fine, be upset. it's your call. That's what Barry Jackson said via a tweet yesterday or this morning. I don't know exactly when I read it, but that's what I say all the time. So, it is what it is. To me, I'm a little disappointed. And I'm not even all the way to the Super Bowl level. I'm just disappointed that we can't win a playoff game. That's where my disappointment level falls in. Oh, now a couple other people fell into the room. Adam, at least your Panthers are kicking butt out there. And no, guys, I'm not talking about the Carolina Panthers. I'm talking about the Florida Panthers in hockey. And who else snuck in here? Raphael, big kudos to you. And Mr. Rivera, thank you for coming in. And good morning to you as well, sir. Thank you for coming in. Like I say, the mock draft this morning fell perfectly because I want to do it. I only did 2 rounds because, let's face it, by the time you get to the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh rounds, we're just taking names out of the hat. Other than some of the guys that really, really study all the prospects really deep, but him in the NFL teams at that point, are almost grasping at straws. Hey, Aqua Vision, big fins up to you. My disappointing falls in not being able to field a healthy team late. Yes, I agree. Injuries played a part in the collapse of the Dolphins. They just seem to have I know a lot of teams get banged up, but how we got banged up along the edge rusters really was it's just like that was our strength and it went to a weakness when you're signing guys off of the street. You start with Chubb, Phillips. Oh, in case something happens to one of them, we got Van Ginkel. Okay, we're not that bad. And even Ogba, not that bad to fill in an emergency. But basically, we lost 3 of those guys, and we were signing guys off the street, and it was rough. So we really do not know on the edge going in. Cornerbacks, we don't know. Xavier Howard. Guys, if you like Xavier Howard, make sure you watch Doll's show tonight. She's going to be talking about Xavier Howard in depth. So it's going to be a lot of cool stuff on that front. She has a whole show basically dedicated to Xavier Howard. So I don't need to talk about him being the post June 1st cut, as she will go into detail later tonight on this very same back channel at 7:30 p.m. You get to see Courtney talk instead of this mug. You get to see Courtney talk. So there is that. Yes, he did say that the Dolphins that door's not closed is how he basically worded. The door is not closed on an X returning to the Dolphins. But we will see on that front because he would probably test the market and see, because that'd be akin to taking a pay cut after all the talk he said. So, but maybe if he sees the market's not as strong for him as he thinks, maybe he comes back and continues as a Miami Dolphin. So there is that possibility, Mr. Raphael Courtwright. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, you're right. Cal Krabs, who's very entertaining and really into the cap guys. Follow him on Locked On Dolphins, grinding the tape, I think, on Twitter or something. But I follow him on Locked On Dolphins on his podcast. He's very detail oriented, knows all these numbers, and how he words it. Basically, the Dolphins won't be able to do everything that they want to do, but the things they prioritize, there's nothing that can hold them, there's nothing that will hold them back. If they prioritize, like Wilkins is a guy we want no matter what, they will be able to, outside of him testing free agency, him saying screw Miami, basically, is what he said. As far as the numbers, there is nothing. They won't be able to do everything they want to do, but if there's 1 or 2 moves that they just set their things on, they will be able to free up the money to do those 1 or 2 moves. They won't. It's not like years past where every single guy that they had enough money to go get and outbid all the other teams and bring them in. Those days, that's not this year for the Miami Dolphins. But there's nothing that they can't do as far as if it's 1 or 2 moves, if they decide that's what makes the Miami Dolphins a better football team. So that's where I agree with you, Scotty. The door's not closed. It just depends where they prioritize. Do they prioritize the offensive front? Do they prioritize the defensive front? Do they say we really need another corner because the Dolphins have a history of liking good cornerbacks? A lot of teams do, of course, in this day and age, but the Dolphins have a history of spending on quarterbacks. So that could be a priority come draft time too if we can't get a decent free agent to come in, because I just don't know if they're going to count on Cam Smith being the starter opposite Jalen Ramsey entering the 2024 season. So there's so many questions. And when you only have a pick in the first 2 rounds, basically, and then you go all the way, and yes, you can get great players in the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and you can sign undrafted free agents. The Dolphins do every single year that come in to contribute to your football team. But the odds go with each passing round. The odds go down of you nailing that really good player. And in this year's draft, those first 2 picks on the Miami Dolphins, they better find guys that are starters, or if contributors for sure. Contribute. Because if you end up playing, picking a position that's like an edge guy, is he technically a starter? No, because he may not be on the field on the first down play. You never know. But if they pick an offensive lineman, he better be a day one starter. If they pick a corner, he better come in and be the guy. Excuse me. And like I said, if they even pick an edge rusher, he better be a contributor to the team right away. So you have all of those things. No pressure, Chris Greer, but you better nail this draft, and you better make the right moves in free agency, and better free up the right amount of money without totally sabotaging the future. But I don't think they care about the future right now. This is another must-win year, and they will go forward like it's a must-win year. Let me see if any of the other you guys snuck into the house. Let's see. Yeah, I like information, but he really called him. Yeah, no, he's not. He's no, yeah, entertaining. I don't know, but he's very knowledgeable. I agree on that, Scotty. He's very good. He does so much more work than what I do, but of course, it's his living. I do this for fun in retirement, and so it's a big difference. But he does so much research. He studies his cap number, does all the draft, and yes, but he's very knowledgeable. But yeah, he's like a big super personality as far as that. Not really, but he will just tell you like it is and get you all those factual numbers. And I think he does a good job on that front. Let's see. Mr. Courtwright brings up Ethan Bonner. Yes, I think he could be. I see Scotty said interesting. That's a good word. He's intriguing, interesting. We know he's fast. Tyreek Hill himself has said has said that he wouldn't want to race Bonner in a foot race. So we know he's fast, but now can he cover? Can he stay one-on-one with a top flight receiver? That remains to be seen. But he has a talent, and that'd be interesting. I think he's definitely on the team because he comes at a cheap price tag on the futures contract that they got him on. And he definitely is on the team. He's definitely replaced special teams, and he's probably going to get some time out there playing. But that's where we are at as far as we go on that front. Good morning, Finn. So, hey, Franklin Stubbs, big fins up to you as well, and a wonderful good morning to you as well, sir. So here, guys, let me get the share screen ready to go. You guys are going to like this one. I didn't cheat to do a million. I just did one right before I came live here. I didn't ran it. It's already sitting ready for the Dolphins to pick. And it is on the what do they call themselves? Pro Football Network. Guys, remember, you got to bear with me when I do these things here because I'm a one-man show. And I got to look. Just like when you see Miss Finn's doing it. We got to look at the back end and try to keep you guys entertained. So give me 1 second. I'm going to remove my thumbnail, my overlay. Hold on. There. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's there where the Dolphins are picking. I forgot us right there. I took all trades off, but lo and behold, Jackson Powers Johnson. I think that's almost a no-brainer among all of us. I think we're all running up to the podium to announce this pick. we're turning in the card, but I will see if there's any naysayers. I have to go back to you guys in chat though, so hold on one second before I hit that. Hey, good morning. Let's see. Good morning to Flava Jay. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. Love having you here. So many options out there for you guys. You guys rock. But anyway, so here we are, guys. We are sitting. Now I got to go back. So, guys, if you comment, I'm not ignoring you, but I am looking on the other end. I am with you, Franklin. I think we run to the podium in this case, and we take Jackson Powers Johnson, but chop Rob Robinson, who's an edge rusher, which you can. A lot of people love Cooper DeJean, and of course Bo Nix. That's just to really get the Dolphins fans talking, take a quarterback here, but that's not how I operate. I operate on common sense, and in this scenario, I did not trade down because I don't know how realistic some of these trades are. And in the benefit of time, I said I just rejected. None of them are that great. They were all trading down into like out of the set, almost out of the first round. I'm like, or like pick 37 and stuff like this. I'm like, no, that's not what we need. So here we go. I am running to the board. I am making the Dolphins thirsty decision because I can't see what you guys are saying. And there we go. I just took. Now I let you guys make a command decision. Oh, let's see. Like I say, though, this is going to be a no trade one. Oh, this one would be good, though. I would take this in an instant, but we're not worrying about next year. But in real life, I would take this in an instant. You're only moving down 2 picks, and you would pick up a pick for the second round pick next year, and you give up pick. But right now, we need picks this year, so I'm rejecting it because I'm going to reject it. It's fun to see, but in real life, that's a no brainer. 55 to 52. That I would do maybe too because you drop that 157, you get the 93rd, get more in the top 100. But again, I'm rejecting everything in the fun of, oh my goodness. Now Zach Frazier he's never been falling. And now the time that we take, the one time I get Jackson Powers to fall, now Zach Frazier falls to us. That's just life. That is just how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. I know in real life, probably neither of those scenarios are going to fall into action unless you take it, Zach Frazier to be your center and Powers to be a guard, but that's really going all in on that offensive front. So I don't think we would go. So, guys, we are sitting here at pick 55. I'm going to go over and look at your guys' comments in a minute. So if you guys are making your picks, bear with me. We got Zach Frazier, who, if I hadn't taken, I would have been running to the podium if I hadn't just taken JPJ. We got Trey Benson, running back, Kristen Hayes. Oh, these are just overall. I can get into any position you guys want, but this is overall according to the Pro Football Network. And then, let's see who we have else on here. Let's see. I'm looking for defensive tackle, maybe Michael Hall. Hey, we could replace one Clemson defensive tackle with another. I haven't done any work on this guy, but it's just funny. We could do one Clemson, replace him with a Clemson guy. So let's see. Are any of you guys? Yeah, but me too, Scotty, on that. I know you're very big on Van Pran too. I know you've been very big on Frazier. Trade 1-2, move back, get more. I agree, Franklin. To me, ideally, trading back would be the best scenario on that front. But with that said, it takes a two to tango, and you need another team to, and in this draft that's viewed as pretty deep. I don't think a lot of teams are going to really want to trade up, and maybe the asking price you're not going to get as much to move back. But you never know. You will see on that front. A lot of teams may just want to stay right where they are, unless some team falls in love at some pick at 21 there. I don't know. Let's see. Any of you guys saying any names? So those are the names that are on the board, guys. Let's see. Let's see who's at cornerback. You got Enos Rakestraw Jr., rated 52 overall. That's if we lose Xavier Howard and stuff. And the Dolphins, like I say, they love taking themselves some cornerbacks. Let's see what linebackers. Line Trotter. Man, our linebackers, we need help. There's a lot of guys on there. Trotter. I know I've heard mention Trotter a couple times around. But I'm going back to defensive tackle. How about these guys? Michael Hall. What's the name of the guy that was in some of those movies back? Oh, that was Michael Anthony Hall. And then Brooke Orthahoro. Like I said, we could have a Clemson. Chris Jenkins and Braden Fisk. So these are all names that are up there on that. I think we trade down for more. I would say every GM has more misses than hits. You're probably right, man. You're probably right. I'm just gonna listen. You know what? I can't believe Zach Frazier's here because I was just gonna go basically best overall player, just according to them, like because we need so many different positions. But I'm gonna go Sanders here. Tarvian Sanders, Texas, and that's it for the Miami Dolphins. So that's it. Our 2-round draft. We get Jack and Powers Johnson and Sir Tarvian Sanders tied in Texas. So let me come in and take the screen off now. Just for fun, I just decided. And of all days that they both happen to fall on those. Frazier has not been around on the pick 2 for a long time when I run these mock drafts. So it's funny that he was there today. The one day I decide to, I'm stopping my share. So anyway, guys, that was it. That was just a fun little mock draft. And speaking of mock draft, I went around and today I'm featuring this guy, the mock draft guy. He does a lot of good shows. He's a lot of fun, very in depth. If you guys don't follow the mock draft guy here on YouTube, look him up under the mock draft guy. He's not Dolphins centric. He talks about all of the teams, all of the prospects, and all of that. But he really brings a good show to the table on the draft. He just hit 10,000 subscribers. Trying to get him on as a guest here in the near future. So we're working on it and hopefully that comes up. But anyway, so I just this guy is not necessarily a good fit for the Dolphins because he's more of a road grader type offensive lineman. But he says the most underrated draft prospects in the 2024 NFL draft is Cooper Beebe, Kansas City. He's Kansas State. And then he's 6'4", 335 pounds, more of a vertical running guy. So I don't know if you'd be good on those zone schemes. He's not, but he's big. He's a road grader, mock draft guy. I'm looking at all kinds of guys. If you guys got a YouTube channel, by the way, let me know. So he says he's the most underrated offensive line draft in the draft. Cooper B, Kansas City State. So Kansas City. I want to keep Kansas City's in my mind because that's the team we need to beat. Kansas State Wildcats, offensive lineman Cooper Beebe is his most underrated offensive line prospect in the 2024 draft. He thought he was going to come out last year, the mock draft guy. And if you don't know the mock draft guy, his name is Peter. And I don't even want to try to say his last name, but we will see. What happened to what happened, Michael K? You and that name, Michael K. Why can't you just put Michael K in your name? Hey, Lance McDonald, long time no see. I hope look at that. See, every morning I have the truck down there. Lance McDonald rolls into my room, and that is perfect. It's like I knew he was coming, so I had that truck ready to go. So big thanks up to you, Lance McDonald. Thank you for coming in. I think guys like Ramsey and Chubbs. Oh man, what did Scotty say? He just got knocked down. Let's see. I think guys like Ramsey and Chubb get extends to open up space. I don't see either being moved next year. No, yeah, I mean those are guys that Tyreek Hill's name's been mentioned again as names that could get restructured once again, and we will see if that comes to fruition. These are all on the table. We work into his contract to free up a little money. That's why I was saying the cow crabs guy. He really went down. He had his, he doesn't think they're all gonna happen, but he had us where we had millions to go spend, millions to go spend. And so we will see if they all do. But those are all names that have been mentioned by various people, not just Mr. Krabs. It's been mentioned by tons of people out there of guys that will be restructuring contracts. There's guys like Crossan that they can just outright cut. So there's all ways to free up money. We're going to see here in the next few days. Keep on waiting, waiting to see. But I do believe that will happen. I don't know. I don't even know who have you been talking to, Michael K. I'm trying to find out what happened. You left and came back. So I don't know. But anyway, yes, cut Mike White, Mr. Courtwright. I think that's gonna happen. I mean, I almost would predict it happens that they cut Mike White, and that will free up money. So there are definitely guys that you can cut. They would probably just bring in a cheaper backup quarterback and just let it be. I don't know. I know Lance McDonald would love if they give Skylar Thompson the reins as the backup quarterback, and we will see on that front if they decide to go that cheap at the backup quarterback. But historically, teams like to bring in guys that at least had a little, especially the Dolphins, I should say, historically. They like to bring in a guy that has a little veteran experience, at least that's played in some games. Skylar Thompson now can qualify as a guy that has seen NFL actions, actually played in an NFL game, but they work with him every single day. So they know better than us whether they think he's a guy that's capable. Will they be comfortable with him being the guy if something happens to Tua? So that's what we will find out because it's hard. But they could do kind of like a Mike White deal again, give him like big money, but have it only be next year and then this year be a cheap, how they did Mike McDaniel's contract. Mike McDaniel's, Mike White's contract. Sorry, guys. A little bit rusty, man. I've been talking baseball the past few days, so rusty. But anyway, and we got Michael K in the house. As long as I'm not associating Michael K with the Dolphins organization, we're doing okay. So anyway, we got Mike White contract definitely I think will be a way to free up money. Everyone's gone over the cap. We've all done it. We all can all go and play with the numbers. But until the Dolphins make these decisions, it's all just speculation because we're all cutting people and we're all saying, "Oh, rework this guy, rework this guy," and at the end of the day, until Chris Greer tells us whose contract's been reworked, we do not know. Hey, Outback. Oh, long time no see, Outback. Welcome back, Outback. Big fins up to you. Thank you so much for dropping in on us this morning. So, guys, like I said, to me, I think the most reasonable guy to bring back is probably going to be Van Ginkel. I just don't know if Hunt hits that open market and if it's true. I've seen multiple reports that he has said he wants to hit the open market. So he wants to see what the money is. So we may lose Mr. Robert Hunt. Then we're going into the line with basically Austin Jackson, unknown at right guard. Center's a big unknown right now because we don't even know if Connor Williams is going to be back. And if he is back, is he going to be healthy? So, because he's free to sign with any team out there. So that's an unknown. Left guard's already an unknown. And then even left tackle. Armstead is there. He has announced he's coming back. But could you soon move on from him? They technically could after June 1st, but I don't see that. I say they stick with him. To me, they got to bring back Lamb because he was a efficient backup when Armstead was out. which is better than years past when we guys had it out. We were just basically not very good there. But Lamb, he's shown he can play. He's a veteran that's been around a while, but when he's been given his opportunity, and with the cap going up from all these teams, the cap number, someone like Lamb may get a decent contract somewhere. So there's a lot of unknown on that offensive line. To me, that's why that's almost like priority number one in the NFL draft. Either a tackle, guard, center. Center guard, whatever. Interior line, if you want to just use generic term, and a tackle, because tackle outside of Jackson is very unsettling moving into the future. Armstead has already mentioned retirement, decided not to, but that phrase is already in his head. You don't know how long you have him. And when he does play, he's not a guy that's going to give you all 17 games, most likely, since he hasn't done so in his career. So many for a team that's supposed to win now. It. Hey, Lance, I should have known you were going to fire back with that. Make Sky QB1 to a QB2. I think you're going to be very disappointment in the near future, Lance, when Tua gets the big fat money, and we time will tell whether it's a horrible decision or the right decision. But I think that decision seems pretty much of not a matter of if, but when Tua gets the extension at this point. I'd be shocked at this point if he just plays on the 5th-year option. All signs seem to be indicating that they want to get a long term. If you listen to Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer talk, they they're talking publicly about it, not just saying, "Oh, those are private matter. We don't talk about." They are both saying they want this done, and so we will see. So I am thinking you're going to hear more likely be hearing that Tua gets a contract extension with the Miami Dolphins than not getting one. But it all smoke and mirrors. Maybe they're just saying that and draw it out and just make him play again on the 5th-year option. Who knows? But just be prepared, Lance. Be prepared. I hope you don't hear the news when you're driving on the road. I hope you're safe at home when you hear the news that Tua has inked a huge contract, because we don't want you driving off that road. Eric Rivera, all you guys, man, thank you. Thank you. Thank you again, Eric, for coming in. Big fins up to you as well. Derrick Henry, another big name on the Dolphin fans was list. To me, I don't see. Uh, yes, in his prime, would he be a huge difference and all of that? He's still a very good player, but I don't think he's coming in on any cheap, friendly deal. And you got so many other needs. I just don't see putting so much money in an older running back. But again, as I always say in my disclaimer, I am often wrong. Just like Scotty pointed out, general managers get things wrong more often than not. So I'm allowed to get things wrong often too, and I don't get paid the $1 million contract to be wrong. So to me, Derrick Henry, great player, physical, would bring a new style of football to the Dolphins, but I would say I would pass on Derrick Henry at this stage of his career, unless he comes in like he's just willing to play for less money, not take a huge contract because he really wants to be here as a Dolphin. Then fine, but I don't see that coming in this day and age when these guys need to make as much money as they can, and that's how it goes. So I think some team will give him big fat money, and I just hope it's not the Dolphins going too big. Cleveland will be a decent pick at guard. The O line was never built, so I can't use the word reboot. No, you're right. They've been trying to build it though for years, Scotty, but for whatever reason, it has not worked out on that front. But hey, I mean, they had some okay picks along the way. It's just, you know, you get Tunso, you end up trading Tunso. You get because he falls into your lap because of the mask that we all know about. That every single draft season, every favorite Dolphin prospect, some guy crops the photo to put it on that guy. I've already seen one on JPJ. So Um, you just never know. But they've tried to build it. But then you trade Tunsil. And can you really blame them for what they offered? 2 first-round picks for Tunsil. Can you blame, Chris Greer for getting rid of Tunsil for I think it was a pick we all were on board. I mean, a trade we were all like, yes, take those picks. Take those picks because we were in full rebuild mode at the time. So it made sense. So then we lose our tackle again that way. Austin Jackson Jackson took some time to season to where he got to the decent level last year. Is he still worth that guy though? That was a number one pick. That's at that point in the draft that you want a number one pick to be. Maybe not, but he's good. He's solid. He's I think he's found a home on the right side, and I'm fine with him there. He got the extension, so they have done some move, but like Kenley never really worked well. Eichenberg, Hunt. See, here we go. Hunt. We I think we hit on Hunt. He's good. He's a quality NFL starter. He's definitely starter level, not replacement play. He's a starting level offensive lineman. But here we are again. We may lose him because of cap situation. There's a good chance here we go again. So you are right in the fact that we can just not establish an offensive line present to any consistency whatsoever. Let's see. Yeah, no. Jack, yeah, no, he was yes, he is very young. He was super young when he was drafted. And like I said, I like him. I mean, he's good. He's a solid player. I'm happy he got the extension. Doesn't set the team too far back. You anchor that, you just have an anchor there on the right side. I like that. You have him, not so much an anchor out there, but whatever, a fixture. You got a fixture out there on the right side of the line that you don't have to worry about. You just know you got your right tackle, barring, of course, injuries and stuff. But that goes for any football player on any team across the NFL or any level of football. But as long as he stays healthy, you got your right tackle. I like that move. It's fine. You're not going to have all pros at every single position. I wish you could, but it's not going to happen. So he's good. He's solid. He's an overall decent pick. So I like him. He's okay. I don't want to. This isn't the pick on Austin Jackson moment. Hey, Cap for life. Big fin up for you coming into the room. This team in trouble, dude. Been saying yes. I know we are definitely sitting here on March 4th. Look like we are entering a little bit of a trouble zone as far as contracts and stuff. I agree on that front 100%. And it is what it is. I'm like immune to the Miami Dolphins at this point as far as I'm breaking my heart. It's just like I'm used to it. I expect it. I really expect the Dolphins. That's why I always say that old saying, waiting for the other shoe to drop was basically invented because of the Miami Dolphins. Because I just know every year. That's why I almost mix it in. And I finally bought in this last year. I have to admit, I bought in thinking, oh, this year they're doing different. And I've said it on here because at start, when we started playing well, I still said, oh, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. But then when we really started putting up good numbers and we started beating those, I got blinded again. Didn't really care about who we were beating instead of that. I would just say, oh, we're beating them. These are NFL teams. We're beating them and we're clobbering most of them. I bought in and then I should have known. I should have stuck with my always knowing. So I'm just almost immune to the Dolphins doing it, unfortunately. But I still love them. Like I say, it's that family member. You still love them, even though you always know they're going to make some knucklehead decision to break your heart. You still have faith in them. You still try to prop them up. But at the end of the day, they rain on your parade. And that's what the Dolphins do to me. So I almost expect it. If they ever actually start being good, I'd be shocked. And when I say good, I mean really good, like playoff winning good, AFC championship good, Super Bowl good, that kind. Because I mean, the Dolphins are. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Barry Jackson had a beautiful tweet. If you're happy with the Dolphins being an entertaining team, making the playoffs a couple years in a row, that's fine. Be happy. If you're disappointed that they're not winning playoff games and being serious Super Bowl contenders, That's your choice. Be disappointed. That's how we should fan. Doesn't matter how you fan. So if you're happy, you're happy. Me, I just want a little bit some victories. And yes, I have lowered my bar. I admit, as a Dolphin fan, I've lowered my bar, and I hate that because I really want a Super Bowl. But at this point, I would take a freaking playoff win. Maybe that playoff win would lead to another playoff win and another playoff win, and maybe we will get to the Super Bowl, But God, just win a playoff game, guys. Well, that's what I want. Hey, Shannon. Oh, Shannon in the house. You know what? Joe Rose has mentioned Nick Needham a couple of times in talking about Achilles injuries because that's why because Joe Rose loves himself some Nick Needham. But he said it in a nice way, Shannon, but he says he just hasn't been the same since the injury. And he was bringing up Jalen Phillips. Is he going to have the same burst? But he wants Nick Needham back to the Miami Dolphins because he thinks it just takes time and that he'll be ready by this offseason to be fully ready to go. So he mentioned Nick Needham as a guy that he wants back. That was on the Joe Rose show. But he said, yes, it took him a little time coming back and out of his breaks. So that's why he's worried about Jalen Phillips coming back because everyone's saying, oh, Jalen Phillips is going to be right back. But they say Achilles is a tricky animal that you deal with. And so I thought of you this morning, Shannon, because Joe Rose wants Nick Needham back and thinks he'd be a good guy to get back, thinking he's healthy. He's a good guy. Hey, we got some Facebook love. Thank you. Hey, Joey from Facebook. If you can nail that thumbs up on the Facebook, it'd be great. Trying to get some love over on the Facebook side, but we botched Wilkins. Not good. They tried last year, though, Joey. The Dolphins tried to get him. Of course, we don't know what the real numbers talk about. Um, we will see. We will see on that front. Like I say, I mean, if the Dolphins really offered him that contract last year, that was a fair contract. But again, they leak things that they want you to hear. So who knows what's true? Nick will have had almost 2-year recovery due to little play here. Be good. Yeah, I agree, Shannon. He is a guy I really, and not just because of you being an awesome mom and Dolphin fan. I always liked him even before I even knew who you were. She's been on our show before with Doll Courtney, I should say. But anyway, that's for a whole other story. But I always like, to me, he's one of the best nickelback in the NFL. I really rank him up there. So we will see on that front. Hey, Canes, Dolphins, 89. Big fins up to you. Thank you so much for jumping into the room. No, I agree. Wilkins likely gone. Hunt likely gone. Greer does a hell of a job retraining the trenches pieces. He said he would build and develop. Mike, what can I say? It's hard to argue. Let's just hope they come back because it is what it is being a Dolphin fan. I agree. I know people hate that phrase. I use it all the time. I'm sorry, but sometimes it really is what it is. I would never use it on one of your guys' personal story that you tell me saying, "Oh, it is what it is." But for me, on myself, I use it all the time, and for my team because it's something I can't control. So it is what it is. I want all of these guys back, but I also want to win. So it is what it is on that. Let's see. We've had some good progression about Phillips. We had not heard about Connor or good. Yes, I was at the Dolphins walk, and Phillips was walking around. Everyone asking him, everyone I give him bother him because he is like a movie star when he was walking around. For one, he stands out like a sore thumb. He's like an Adonis walking around the mortals. So he's walking around and everyone's asking him the same question. Are you gonna be back? Are you gonna be back? Oh, and he goes, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. He was out there at least still repping the Dolphins. Even though he would have had every excuse not to show up. He's a good young man showing up for the Dolphins, knowing that he was going to be mobbed. He showed up out there. Really cool guy. I could overhear him saying the same questions over and over. When are you going to come back? Oh, whatever. So the answer is he's working on it. That's basically, and that's the only answer you can say. So we will see on that front. Hopefully, It is, but Achilles are tricky. So hopefully he can be back and playing sooner than later, because that would be a big boost to the Dolphins because we need him out there for sure. Yes, he is. Phillips is a gem. I know. Hey, he's earned his right, man. Just like we talk about these guys, you earn your right to be out there in free agency. The cap has risen across the NFL, and I wish him nothing but the best. And that goes for all the players, man, on the Dolphins. It's just, that's just in the end, it's the business. As much as we as fans look at it as, oh, it's like, at the end of the day, it's the business on the owner side, agent side, player side. Players love the game. They don't get me wrong; they love the game. But at the end of the day, they love the game just as much if they're going on another team making more money. So they love the game, but let's face it, it's not a long standing game for most of these young men. So most of them don't become Patrick Mahomes that's making 40, $50 million a year. That's not reality. The reality is the guys out there grinding every day on almost on the lower end of the NFL spectrum, which is still good money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not totally naive, but it's tough. But hey, we're more worried about. Well, we always seem to be. I know the Greer was never worried about the offensive line. That was his quote that gets keep on rehashed all around social media. Maybe you're more worried about it than we are. As it turned out, maybe he should have been a little more worried about the offensive line. Yes, we lost Connor Williams. Yes, we lost Isaiah Wynn. Yes, we lost almost everyone. We lost Hunt for a while. We lost almost everyone other than really Austin Jackson, knock on wood. Almost everyone else missed significant time. Armstead actually played more snaps than a lot of our other guys that we weren't expecting to miss time this past year. So it's just always on the go. There you go. Well said. Let's just say Nick's agent made the rounds at the combine and the Dolphins are still in the mix. I hope so because, like I say, when he's healthy, he is very good at doing what he does. And I like it. But on the Dolphins, getting back on the Dolphins this next couple of days, tomorrow, 4 p.m., guys, franchise tag deadline. Doesn't look like the Dolphins are going to designate anyone with that designation. As we sit here at 10:52 a.m. right now today, doesn't look like the Dolphins are going to use that tag on anyone because it brings a significant cap hit to you when that new league kicks in, and you really got to get people under Tua. That's the next big question. Does he get the big extension here in the next few days? I believe the answer is he will get it, but I don't think it's necessarily a rush because from all they have plans to be comfortably under the cap, even with Tua on the 5th year option. So they're not in any rush, supposedly, to get that done to free up money in that manner. But who knows? And as far as Van Ginkel, he's another guy that supposedly loves South Florida. His wife seems to love South Florida. She personally, well, Van Ginkel and her, their family decisions when it comes to money. She personally gave over $1,000 to Big E, as you guys all know him on Twitter. He's Ian, really cool guy. I walked on his team this year, and maybe if Shannon hadn't hurt her foot, I would have been walking with her instead of Bobby of Finn's Talk. All three of us would have been walking out there together because she was on the team as well, but couldn't walk. And she's back out in California healing up her foot. But Van Ginkel's family personally gave over $1,000 just to Big E. Who knows what they did to other people? Because Big E had a goal of getting the $25,000 raised for the for that event. He was like at he was about just a little over $1,000 under that goal. During the walk, he gets a notification that Van Ginkel's wife had put $1,000 in his name. So that's really cool, man. It's like Dolphin community out there helping each other. All the money goes to the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. Research all goes to, research cancer. Really good cause. I had a fun time walking in it this year. Me and Bobby, you guys know him as Bobby Finstock of the Finstock Sports Network. We walked all year. I mean, all year. Oh, I would really be in good shape if I walked all freaking year. I was certain I need to walk every day from now on because just walking, as you guys know, I'm a double lung transplant guy. I saw not that long ago. I got someone news lungs, and the person's lungs, I'm blessed from above to have them. Sad. Of course, someone else had to pass. But the long story is, I hadn't walked that long since I had the new lungs, and I was fine that day. I'm like, I'm the champ. The next morning when I got out of bed, I'm like, started to walk. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And I remember I walked the day before. That's when it hit me. I didn't even know until when woke up the next morning. I'm like, oh, I was like, so that's it. So I had put in, that's it. And then today, someone out there said, you should walk 10,000 steps every day. And that day I did. So I need to start walking a lot more. It's bottom line. I know, Shannon, but hey, next year, Shannon, because Nick Needham's going to be back and you're going to be out here and you're there. I try to be positive Pete here at the end of the day and try to bring nothing but good vibes to the Miami Dolphins community. But it was a really good time. Shannon, you were still part of the team. You just, you got injured, man. You're a Dolphin fan. So Dolphin fans get injured too. So, you were showing support for your son. You got injured, unfortunately. So it's just you were out there doing it. Yes, yes, that's why I looked that up today. It was fun. We got our that day because it's a 5K, but by the time you do all the other stuff, you walk around seeing all the stuff that we do. It was really fun. It was a great day, guys. If you guys ever get a chance, if you live down in this area, I would strongly recommend doing it. You see a lot of players. Only got my phone died that day. The only player I got to take a quick photo with is Alec Ingle. No one seemed to be bugging him because he was walking out with he was almost like the guy that was shooing a shot, like, oh wait, excuse me, sir, let me take a picture with Jalen Phillips because him and Jalen Phillips were walking out together. Two Walter Payton Man of the Year nominees for the Dolphins, just if you're keeping track. So two really good guys. So I took a picture of Alec Ingold, and then my phone went kaput because numbskull me when I was doing the 5K somehow I had my camera on, and it took probably 1,000 pictures inside my pocket. I'm like, what is this? All I see is black, 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 black. I go, oh, there you go. Now I know why my phone died on the walk. So, there were so many people I could have snapped, but that's okay. I'm not a super I'm just a Dolphins fan. I don't want to bug these guys for the most part. But Alec Ingold, no one was even talking to him. So, hey, you mind? I even told him I'm a horrible selfie. And sure enough, the camera was facing the wrong way. I had to turn it on to selfie mode. I wasn't prepared, but he was really cool. Took time with me to let me figure it all out. So Alec Ingold's the only guy I took a photo with, but I saw Nat Moore. Like I said, I saw Jalen Phillips. Joe Rose, I was going to bug because I still listen to him to this day, but he was talking to someone, so I didn't want to interrupt him. And he even gave me like this, like, hold on, because he could see I wanted to talk to him. But then the next thing I know, our group said we're moving. And then I'm like, ah. So I just waved to him. I'm like, son of a gun. So it is what it is. But Joe Rose was out. Oh, I mean, if Mike McDaniel was out there, Ross was out there. It was a really cool day. I recommend it. And then Wilkins was out there, Marino was out there. I mean, I'm not even touching on all the people that were out there. So really cool guy. I know, Camp. I know. Oh man. Let's see. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm almost done. Remember tonight, if you guys want to hear from the biggest fan of Xavier Howard that's walking around outside of his family members, watch Courtney tonight. She is going to bring a whole show dedicated to Xavier Howard. Of course, if I'm on it, I will push her to some other topics as well. I haven't decided yet, but she's so excited just to talk about Xavier Howard. How can I take her enthusiasm? It should be fun. I appreciate you guys all. I will not name all of you guys by name because I would probably miss someone. All you guys, thank you so much. If you haven't done so already, throw a laser past that thumbs up button. It helps people find my show. If they just knucklehead has something going, a lot of people seem to like his show. That's it. Simple as that. No thirsty. No. Cap is cap for life. You don't need to say thirsty exclamation. It's cap for life. I will give you all shout out of exclamation points if I was that quick. All you guys rock. I love it. Social media on the Dolphin side can get nasty sometimes, but hey, I try to bring the positive because at the end of the day, we're just spectators. So let's enjoy it. We can have our different views, but we all want the Dolphins to win. That's basically where we stand as that goes. And that's it. I'm done rambling. It's been fun. It's been another good hour of talking Dolphins football with you guys. You guys rock. I will see you soon. And check out Courtney's show tonight. Fins up, thumbs up.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun with